Right, so the argument is energy drinks versus coffee. They both give you energy. One is seen as being completely unhealthy energy drinks like Red Bull, Monster, Relentless, and then on the other hand, coffee, which is like socially acceptable to consume, but is seen as healthy. Whereas but they both contain caffeine. So why is one unhealthy and the other is healthy? So there's a number of studies that show that energy drinks are unhealthy because they contain an abundance of energy boosters in them. So not only are they containing caffeine, they contain taurine, like root extracts like ginseng, and like similar stuff like that, high sugar content. So it's all of these ingredients mixed into one, which is causing vasoconstriction. So that's basically when your blood vessels, your veins tighten, and then there's an increased chance of strokes and heart attacks. So it's a bit like mixing alcohol in a sense. So you've gone out to a restaurant, a few glasses of red wine, then after you've decided to hit Wetherspoons and now you've had a few pints, and then you go out to the club and now you're drinking your pink gin and lemonade. So the next day you're more likely supposedly to get a bad hangover because you're mixing all of these different ingredients, and then like you're more likely to get sulphates in the body, more likely to get dehydrated, have a worse hangover. So that's kind of what energy drinks are like, is kind of the abundance of energy boosters combined, which is making it unhealthy, and that's why it's like banned for younger people in the UK. But then coffee only contains caffeine, and it's like a natural form of caffeine, whereas most energy drinks, especially this awful one here, it definitely just has that man-made artificial caffeine. So coffee is it's a lot more natural to consume, and like I say, it only contains the caffeine. So vasoconstriction does still occur according to studies. So vasoconstriction does still occur, but not to the extent of what I believe. I think there's like two studies done. One showed that energy drinks constricted the veins by 58%, but then when they repeated the study with the coffee, it only constricted the veins by 27%. So you're less likely to have a heart attack or stroke when consuming coffee. I think a lot of the research out there, though, is kind of like bullshit funded stuff trying to put a bad name on energy drinks. I don't think energy drinks are nowhere near as bad as they're made out to be, just because coffee kind of does a similar thing. And I don't know if you've seen the documentary What the Health. It's on like Netflix. But what you kind of gather, what I took away from that documentary is that there'll be massive organizations that will pump millions into research labs to fund these labs to then bring out articles and studies that look legitimate, but they're basically just lying about findings because they've been shifted millions. So I think that's kind of what has happened with the emergence of energy drinks, because so many of the articles, they'll be like, oh, this is 7 ways why energy drinks are bad for you, but then probably about 6 of those 7 you could apply to coffee as well. So I do think a lot of it is bullshit out there, to be honest. I don't think energy drinks are like nowhere near as bad as they are made out to be, but I do definitely think they are worse for your health than coffee. I mean, like there's even like sugar free, like zero carb energy drinks out there now as well. So if you're gonna like have the argument that energy drinks cause obesity, then just grab a monster that has zero sugar in. But then there's also the argument of coffee being worse than energy drinks in a sense, because I don't know about you, but whenever I drink like an energy drink, I don't feel dehydrated. But I know that whenever I have a coffee, I always feel dehydrated. Um, I just feel like my mouth just feels a bit disgusting, to be honest with you. Um, And that's to do with the sulphate. So like coffee naturally contains a higher sulphate content that dehydrates you, and then that's why like coffee sticks to the tongue. That's why you have bad coffee breath. That's why it can like stain your teeth long term as well. And that's basically because of the sulfates that are in coffee. So in that sense, you could say that maybe coffee is worse in terms of your like kidney stones, and that's a lot of that. Like one of the reasons as well is why people say don't have caffeine past like 5 p.m. One is because it can fucking keep you up, but two is because where caffeine and especially a lot of sulfates in coffee dehydrate you. If you're then going to bed dehydrated, that can be really bad for your kidney stones, your kidneys. So that's another reason why you should be drinking caffeine later at night. Now I'm gonna start doing a few more videos like this because caffeine is like so widely used. Like everybody uses caffeine. It's been around for thousands of years, but then everyone seems to like know very little about it. So if you have any like questions or queries about caffeine, energy drinks, coffee, then just let me know, and then I'll do my best to answer them in like next few videos or blog posts or whatnot.